It's the second day of school for students in HISD, and many of them are learning under an entirely different structure.
This year, 28 HISD schools have been reformed under what Superintendent Mike Miles calls the new education system. 57 schools have voluntarily aligned with the NES model. KPRC 2's Candace Burns spent the day touring 2 NES schools in 5th Ward and is joining us now to share how the day went. So Candace, where did you spend the day and how is the reorganization process going at those campuses?
So Andy, the superintendent invited us to tour Fleming Middle School and McReynolds Middle School in the 5th Ward with him today. And it was very interesting because, as you said, we're in the second day of school. And this school district, these 28 schools and the 57 aligned schools have gone through a major overhaul. And it really looked very organized when we walked through the school with the superintendent. The students were in the classroom, they were engaged, and they were doing classroom participation. The teachers were using PowerPoints. You could see the objective of the day, what the students were supposed to be learning in every single classroom that we went into. And you also saw what students were supposed to be able to demonstrate after they finished that class. So very organized, and it really didn't seem like a second day of school. Now, we did speak to some principals who say there have been some challenges. Of course, it's the second day of school, but they say they've been able to work through them. And the superintendent even told us that he was pleasantly surprised by how smooth this transition has been going so far.
That's right. He did say that he was impressed. He had a press conference about 3 o'clock. Talk a little bit about how the day was structured for students and teachers.
Gabby, it's very structured. I mean, the teachers in the NES schools, the classrooms that we went into, they're timed. So basically, the first 45 minutes of the class is with the teacher giving instruction, teaching the lesson of the day, and then the next 10 minutes, the students are taking a quiz, so the teacher can see who has retained the information that they just went over. Now, the kids who get an A on that quiz, they take a packet, and it's a packet full of advanced work. So, and then they go into a learning center, a team center, where there are learning coaches who are there to help them through the advanced work. So they're not just sitting in the classroom going over work that they already get. They move to another room and they work on advanced work. And the kids who didn't pass the test, they're still struggling to get the concept. They spend more time, 35 more minutes with the teacher going over the lesson for the day to make sure everybody in the classroom is able to catch on to what's happening. But very, very, very structured. Not a whole lot of wiggle room, but it didn't appear that the teachers were having a hard time with it because they still could bring their own flavor, if you will, to the lesson plan with how they wanted to teach it, but they had to stick to obviously the objectives, and they had to make sure the kids were getting it. But it was interesting to see.
Certainly a new workflow there. So Candace, libraries remain a big concern with some parents, staff, community members who've been critical of some of the changes implemented by the new superintendent. They're concerned that at these NES schools that libraries as they know them would no longer be available to students. So what did you see?
Okay, so I can confidently say that the books are still there. Libraries were definitely a big concern this summer. We do know that the 28 librarians who worked at the new education system schools have been repositioned in other roles in the district, but the libraries are still there. The books are still there. And I talked to the principal at McReynolds today, and I said, so we still have the books, but are you going to be buying new books? And she said, yes, they will. And students, they're developing a system where students can still check out books and return them, and keep reading. So they are there. They will be used in some cases as team centers, those places where students who are getting their work done can go and work on advanced work. It's also going to be a place where kids who are being distracted in class will go. They'll take a Chromebook, they'll take some headphones, and they'll Zoom back into the classroom, and they'll still be getting that lesson while they're in that team center, in some cases the library. So the books are still there, Andy.
Yeah, certainly critics, though, still questioning how eliminating librarians from some of these underperforming schools will better serve the students. Candace Burns reporting live for us this afternoon. Thank you so much.